Coming up on Global Business, agricultural innovation. The green transition in agriculture takes centre stage on the second day of the International Supply Chain Expo, with a focus on advancements in information technology and artificial intelligence. Steady growth. China's industrial sector reports modest revenue growth for the first 10 months of 2024. We'll take a closer look at the ongoing challenges and the factors driving the recovery. Digital finance. China has unveiled its latest blueprint aimed at enhancing the digitalisation of the financial sector to promote high-quality development. Welcome to Global Business here on Cgtn, coming to you from our studios in Beijing. I'm Lincoln Humphreys. It's the second day of the China International Supply Chain Expo, considered the world's biggest event focused on supply chains. More than 300 participants converged in today's forum, exploring intelligent connected technologies reshaping the automotive industry. This year's Expo in Beijing has a new exhibition area dedicated to advanced manufacturing. The other 5 major supply chain sectors in the spotlight are clean energy, smart vehicles, digital technology, healthy life and green agriculture. Expo attendance is up 20% from last year, with more than 600 companies participating. Foreign exhibitors account for 32%, that's up from 26%. United States and European companies make up about 50% of overseas participation. The supply chain in agriculture, from sourcing to production, distribution and sales, is fully traceable right to your table. Let's join our reporter Aaron Liu as he explores the complete industry journey of Thai prawns at the exhibition.
This is the agriculture pavilion at the expo, where agricultural products from all over the world are being showcased. How do these prawns journey from Thai farms to Chinese dinner tables? What we have here is the full industry chain of cooperative agricultural products, featuring the Smart Shrimp Factory, where we can see live footage and data from the Thai King prawn farms.
The CP Shrimp King Smart Shrimp Farm platform provides a one-stop service chain from the hatchery all the way to the customer's table by utilizing IoT and AI technology to achieve the real-time whole supply chain monitoring, ensuring successful shrimp farming and healthy food supply.
Next, they're transported to the Chinese market via cold chain logistics, with IoT devices monitoring the temperature throughout the journey.
According to official CEPPMA data from January to March this year, shrimp imports from Thailand to China experienced an impressive year-on-year increase of approximately 29%. Now we can place an order. Once we receive product, we simply scan QR code with our smartphones to access real-time information about its origin and processing. As China's consumption power continues to grow, Thai prawns are just one of many agricultural products enriching Chinese dining tables. In 2023, China's total import and export volume of aquatic products reached 10.56 million tons, valued at $44.2 billion. Achievements are made possible by efficient full industry chains. Let's savor this deliciousness together. Our news, Cgtn, Beijing.
Strengthening trade ties between China and Africa has been a major highlight at the ongoing China International Supply Chain Expo. Both regions are committed to enhancing their bilateral trade relationship, facilitating the exchange of high-quality products and diversifying their imports and exports. Our reporter Raman Young has more insights on the evolving partnership.
Total bilateral trade between China and African economies stood at $166.7 billion in the first 7 months of this year, up around 6% year on year. Collectively, China still runs a trade surplus, with the continent having exported goods worth around $98 billion, while importing goods worth around $68.7 billion between January and July. The importation of nuts, vegetables, flowers and fruits went up by anywhere between 7 and 130%, depending on the category you look at, year on year. That's according to data from China's General Administration of Customs. Those numbers are important for 2 reasons. First, China's imports from Africa fell by 6.7% year on year in 2023. So we're seeing a reversal in that trend so far this year. More importantly, though, they do represent efforts to diversify imports away from primary commodities like metals, minerals and fuels, which account for 60% plus of the exports from Africa to China. In the 2021 edition of FOCAC, plans were announced to simplify and speed up inspection and quarantine procedures for agricultural exports from African states. Think of coffee from Ethiopia and Uganda or pepper from Rwanda getting into the Chinese market. You'll hear that being referred to as green lanes. Agricultural exports since then have gone up by more than a third between 2021 and 2023 to $9.4 billion. But even at those levels, agricultural goods made up less than 10% of total exports. China's coffee imports last year, for example, went up by over 20% to nearly 154,000 tons. If they keep up that growth rate over the next couple of years, China could virtually absorb all of Ethiopia's coffee export capacity within 5 years. So what needs to happen next to enable more produce to flow? Logistics is one part of the equation, but a more critical one is trade facilitation. Most SMEs and small-scale farmers here who produce the bulk of agricultural produce on the continent aren't familiar with the Chinese market or the rules on product quality standards or what they need to invest in order to meet them. There's work being done to fix that with the International Trade Center and the China Development Bank, among other institutions. Finally, though, we're also seeing some fairly interesting debates in policy circles on what rules should govern Sino-African trade in future. Rather than just giving duty-free access to exports from least developed economies, for example, should that be extended to all African states? Alternatively, should authorities in China and regional economic blocs like the East African Community, the Economic Community of West African States or the Southern African Development Community sit down and negotiate wide-ranging preferential trade deals amongst themselves? All questions in search of some answers. Ramanyang, Cgtn, Nairobi.
Chinese SMEs are working to compete effectively in a challenging global market while also focusing on sustainability in their supply chains. For some more insights on these topics, we turn to experts from the International Trade Center and Amphori, who share key insights from the China International Supply Chain Expo.
Trade intelligence plays a crucial role because now, as we know, in the current uncertain global context, access to timely, accurate, and reliable information on markets is crucial for firms of all sizes. Now, big firms often have economic research departments that can help them find the information, but especially small and medium-sized enterprises need tools and need information to help them identify and compare opportunities. And this is why we're really happy to cooperate with CCPIT on the Chinese version of the Global Trade Help Desk, which really helps businesses evaluate how economically attractive is a market, how much will it cost them to enter that market, what are the regulations and how can they comply, and to also connect with potential partners and opportunities via e-commerce, via trade finance, or even business partners.
Due diligence is not a one-off event. Due diligence is an ongoing cycle. And what we mean by due diligence is first that you set up policies and processes, procedures, but also that you allocate responsibility within a company. And then you start with identifying what is what I do in my business, where are highest risks. You don't do that alone, you do that with your stakeholders. Then based on those risks, you then start prioritizing where to focus on, because you can't do everything every day. And so you need to prioritize because resources are limited for companies. And trust is really important, really, to drive change and make sure that you remain competitive in this competitive world that global supply chains are. I already mentioned reporting is not easy, and we can help at Amphori. So we have Amphori Sustainapass to help guide our members through this sustainability journey and help them ultimately to report on the actions. At Amphori we have a social program in place, Amphori BCI, but also an environmental program in place, Amphori BEPI, that helps our members based on joint standards that are founded in international recognized standards to really build that trust. Find a collaboration, make sure that you don't do it on your own, make sure that you don't invent the wheel again. This is the standard, let's all work together. If we do that jointly, we save a lot of time and resource, but also build further trust within the supply chain.
The BSH China InnoVision Summit took place in Nanjing, Jiangsu province on Tuesday, marking the 30th anniversary of the home appliance company in China. Our reporter, He Jiangyu, interviewed Matthias Metz, Chairman of the Board of Management and CEO of BSH Home Appliances Group, to discuss the company's strategies for strengthening its supply chain and achieving sustainability to thrive in the Chinese market.
Considering current global supply chain challenges such as rising raw material costs and logistical disruptions, so what strategies has BSH adopted to ensure the reliability and efficiency of its supply chain?
The whole BSH team was working very hard to overcome these challenges and to find the right answers to that. One of the answers here in China is that we have a very strong local production base, producing all the different appliances we have in our portfolio. And this combined with our R&D center makes us a very strong player here in this market. A couple of months ago, I signed with the mayor of Nanjing a memorandum of understanding regarding this topic. And I think it's important because it will bring the innovative power of the local team to a global scale, leveraging also all the opportunities we have in this respect. By the way, to develop also local talents is also very much on our agenda. So we also started now a BSH China Home Appliance Talent Center, allowing talents not only to join our company, but to bring their strengths to the company and to develop with this also BSH on a global scale.
Coming up next on Global Business, steady growth. China's industrial sector reports modest revenue growth for the first 10 months of 2024. We'll take a closer look at the ongoing challenges and the factors driving the recovery.
The China International Supply Chain Expo is a platform that bridges the global community, fostering collaboration and building a resilient international supply chain ecosystem. 6 key sectors leading the way in innovation. Through internationalization, specialization, market orientation, and green development, we turn collaboration into transformative action. Join the second China International Supply Chain Expo and experience the forefront of supply chain innovation, only on Cgtn.
China's industrial sector experienced mild revenue growth during the first 10 months of 2024, according to new data tracking large industrial firms. The latest figures from the National Bureau of Statistics reveal industrial revenues increased by nearly 2% compared to the previous year. However, profits saw a decline of more than 4% during the same period. In October alone, industrial revenues decreased by 0.2% from the same month last year, an improvement from the 0.9% decline observed in September. Meanwhile, profits dropped by 10% year on year, although this represents a significant improvement from a more severe slump recorded in the previous month. Bauma China 2024, one of the largest machinery events in the world, is underway in Shanghai this week, bringing together thousands of exhibitors and traders from around the globe to showcase their latest innovations. Cgtn's Lin Nan has the story.
Over 2,800 exhibitors are presenting their latest machinery at Bauma China 2024, covering sectors ranging from construction, port to mining machines. The focus is on automation, digitalization, and sustainability, showcasing technologies that are reshaping the industry.
We are showcasing larger, more comprehensive and smarter products. Our equipment, including the exhibition setups, is tailored to meet our customers' full scenario solutions, highlighting integrated equipment packages for a variety of environments. Many of these solutions are customized for mining scenarios, both domestically and internationally.
The event also serves as a platform for business deals, with signing ceremonies between manufacturers and overseas clients, helping expand their global reach.
Yeah, actually we give the orders 40 units concrete pumps and 10 units tower grants to sell in Turkey and Middle East region. In the future, we will make it different product lines.
As the global construction sector evolves, Bauma China is seeing rising demand for smart machinery, from autonomous vehicles to remote diagnostics, enhancing efficiency, safety, and savings.
The big move for us is smart equipment, because we can see the intelligence side of the equipment when it works, when it breaks down, how the operator uses it. That becomes a key factor in our success, because we become 10 times more efficient when we can have a member of our team can see the machine, he can see how it works.
AI-driven products and Internet of Things solutions are transforming performance and maintenance, marking a shift to smarter, safer building technologies.
This technology reduces labor costs, improves safety, and boosts efficiency. Most importantly, through unmanned control, digital sensing, and intelligent operations, we can achieve precise control.
Sustainability is another key theme, with companies showcasing energy-efficient and eco-friendly technologies aimed at reducing emissions and waste. The event continues through Friday, offering a glimpse into the future of machinery and technology. Lin Nan, Cgtn, Shanghai.
Moving on to China's booming auto sector now. Industrial data indicates auto sales have maintained strong momentum in the first 3 weeks of November. According to the latest figures released by the China Passenger Car Association on its official website, retail sales of passenger vehicles in China grew by approximately 30% to 1.6 million units from November 1st to the 24th, compared to the same period last year. So far this year, total retail sales are nearing 20 million units, reflecting a 5% increase from the previous year. Sales of new energy vehicles surged by about 70% to 870,000 units year to date. NEV sales stood at 9.2 million units. That's up 42% over the last year. The association attributes this growth to trade-in policies that provide significant incentives for consumers purchasing the vehicles. Well, still on electric vehicles, they're also taking centre stage at the ongoing Los Angeles Auto Show. But a separate conversation is taking place about the cost of electric vehicles and ways to make them more accessible to the average American consumer. It is Tian Shan reports from Los Angeles.
The single most valuable component that goes into the manufacturing of electric vehicles is the battery. It makes up anywhere from a third to nearly half the cost of an EV, and their price range is still higher than combustion engine vehicles.
I think it's still a little bit, they're in a range where they're more at the higher end, right? But they've come down a lot, right? If we see this as technology evolves, right? There's adoption styles always to technology. Battery technology is getting less and less costly, which is driving down the price of EV.
But it could take time for technological advances to bring a significant reduction in costs. In the meantime, battery manufacturing has been predominantly sourced from China.
We see, of course, that China is the world's leader in terms of battery technology. It's the world's leader in terms of the production of key minerals that go into not just the batteries, but in terms of other products.
Recent initiatives by both public and private sectors in the U.S. aim to tap into the nation's lithium reserves and increase the local battery production capacity through new plants.
More and more, all of the precious metals, the materials to assemble batteries, more of that is, for us at least, is moving to be done domestically. And that is for several reasons. Of course, you get efficiencies in the cost when you do it locally, but also some of the regulatory incentives from the government, they require that materials be sourced locally here. So I think you'll start seeing that trend more so.
Some analysts suggest the battery costs in the U.S. could come down by half in the next couple of years with the help of tax credits provided by the Inflation Reduction Act, which now faces uncertainty under President-elect Donald Trump. It is Tian Shan, Cgtn, Los Angeles.
Still to come on Global Business. Digital finance. China has unveiled its latest blueprint aimed at enhancing the digitalisation of the financial sector to promote high-quality development.
China has been the factory of the world for decades. But now, there are discussions that more factories are moving out.
Are they? What do they have to do with textiles? Oh wow, these screens are almost invisible.
There's a lab in the textile plant.
This one looks okay, but apparently this one has failed the test.
So how do we turn this into colorful clothing? We still need a machine. and a lot of other processes.
Do you have any plans to moving to Southeast Asia? Some parts of China's textile and garment industry, the industry is shifting to Southeast Asia.
China is renewing its push to advance digital finance through an action plan released by top regulators, including the People's Bank of China and the National Development and Reform Commission. The plan aims to build a financial system that is highly adapted to the digital economy by 2027. It focuses on the digital transformation of financial institutions and promotes the use of digital technology in tech finance, green finance, inclusive finance, elder care finance, and the integration of digital and real economies. The plan also commits to strengthening foundational elements and refining the governance system. The fourth China-EU summit took place today in Madrid, providing a platform for Chinese and European investors and entrepreneurs to connect and strengthen their ties, despite escalating global trade and geopolitical tensions. Our correspondent Ken Brown has more details.
Chinese and European business leaders were staying positive at the China-EU summit in Madrid. With over 10,000 participants from 30 countries, the summit aims to provide a platform for bilateral trade. Tariffs, Trump and the trade deficit are the elephants in the room here, with the EU set to impose tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles and the response of levies on EU brandy and potentially on European pork. That would hurt Spain more than other EU nations, but speakers here insist that there are still opportunities for growth and shared entrepreneurship.
I think at times like this, more events and associations like ours are needed. Our aim is to become a new hub linking the Chinese and European markets, especially in emerging industries such as e-commerce, digitalization, and artificial intelligence. We want to provide better mutual access to talent and innovation.
The meeting came as Zhao Leji, China's top legislator, concluded his 4-day visit, meeting with Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and the King of Spain, both sides expressing a shared desire for global peace and stability. In Madrid, experts at the event played down the possible negative trade impacts of a Trump presidency.
If I do well, you do well, right? If America catches the flu, China gets a cough. If China gets a cold, America will have a fever, right? We all need to be in good health and get stronger together. If the US economy is strong, China's gets stronger too and strengthens the European Union also. If we're all stronger, then the world is a better place. Who wants depression? Who wants to be hungry? Who doesn't want to have a better life? I believe this is the simplest truth.
Meanwhile, Zhao Leji continues his European visit, with Italy, Portugal, Greece next on the itinerary, as the EU and China continue to seek common ground on a day when Donald Trump promised yet more tariffs on Chinese goods. No one will win a trade war, was China's response. Ken Brown, Cgtn, Madrid.
Let's move on to some other business headlines we're tracking this hour. Australia's consumer price inflation rate remains steady at 2.1% in October, largely due to government rebates on electricity and rent, which helped to mitigate broader price pressures. However, core inflation increased to 3.5%, indicating ongoing cost pressures in various sectors. In South Korea, the presidential office announced plans to enhance response measures to potential US tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, acknowledging that domestic companies would inevitably face repercussions from such tariffs, as reported by the Yonhap News Agency on Wednesday. Meanwhile, officials from the US Federal Reserve expressed differing views during their recent meeting regarding the likelihood of further interest rate cuts. There is uncertainty about how current neutral interest rates influence the restrictiveness of monetary policy moving forward. A record number of 80 million people in America are expected to travel in the upcoming Thanksgiving season. Tony Waterman finds out how they would handle traffic and weather during their trips.
It's an unconventional Thanksgiving for Caroline Cosgrove and Rob Fulmer, the couple traveling from Oregon by plane, then a rental car here in Austin before a bus ride later to Houston.
It's been fine. I mean, the flight was fine. It was uneventful. We didn't have any trouble getting the rental car.
There was like an atmospheric river
passing through, but here weather is not a concern. Traffic, we're taking the bus, so it's the bus driver's problem.
They are just 2 of the 80 million people expected to travel 80 kilometers or more this Thanksgiving holiday. The vast majority will pile into cars. Lower gas prices a relief for cash-strapped travelers. Despite higher ticket prices, a record number of people are expected to fly domestically, nearly 6 million. International bookings have also skyrocketed, up 23% compared to last Thanksgiving. Airport security asking people to pack their patience and leave prohibited items either at home or in their checked luggage to keep the lines moving.
A lot of people say, but I can't find this in my country, or this is the brand that I really like to make my special stuffing or pudding or whatever it may be. And along those lines, they also say, I need my own cooking implements. So you might ask, why do I have a roller or a cleaver or even a frying pan?
While operations are running smoothly in Austin, the Federal Aviation Administration has warned of possible delays in the Northeast, particularly in New York and New Jersey, due to a shortage of air traffic controllers.
If we are short on staff, we will slow traffic as needed to keep the system safe.
Inclement weather could also cause headaches on the roads and in the skies. A major storm rolling across the U.S. expected to bring wet and snowy weather in areas from coast to coast.
Even though we're having beautiful weather here in Austin, we always tell passengers to check with their airlines because there could be weather where you're arriving or where you're connecting.
And for passengers who do get stranded, new regulations could provide some relief. Airlines are now required to automatically issue refunds to domestic travelers who are delayed more than 3 hours, or international travelers delayed more than 6 hours, without those people having to jump through hoops for their money. The big exception, though, weather and air traffic can't be the culprit. Thanksgiving, the busiest time of year to travel, and perhaps a preview of what's to come at Christmas. Tony Waterman, CGTN, Austin, Texas.
Many and varied Thanksgiving plans, and I'd like to give thanks to you for joining us for this edition of Global Business. I've been Lincoln Humphreys in Beijing. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.